Hi. Hmm. Hi, Alex.
Very well then. Is there something else?
It's like, I know at this point I want Arastia because her reaps are quite useful. And I want Argefi because his binds can disable what Arastia can't. And I don't quite want Ari anymore. Because, well... Yeah, she does deal stab damage, but... she kinda isn't offering much outside of that. I know I bring her along for Lowell's passive healing, but with the disables and Dertrifa, I think we're covered. Just begs the question, who would I bring instead? And the real answer to that is, I don't know. Hmm. Oh, what pass would she have? Yeah, I do want to bring Sark along, but it's still an iffy thing. She'll undoubtedly bring us great offensive power, but at equivalent cost to her own survival. I mean, she can multi-wield katanas, but like every katana takes up an armor slot. And armor actually means something in this game, unlike in some past ones. There we go, now Blitz Reblossom. Airblade 2. I mean, 23k is decent, but it could definitely do a lot better. Do we have a
Don't let the labyrinth claim you.
katana that has abundant materials? Sharpened... oh god, sharpened rim. That's just how many soul takers we've hunted. Oh no. I do not want to think about fighting this. Well, they are fit up. Yeah, fit up would be pretty dang good. I know for a general exploration how I handled a multi-wielder was to have 3 katanas and body armor, because body armor gives you a huge chunk of defense, and it's the difference between surviving a hit and not. The rest of the armor slots just means maybe you can survive an extra hit or not. I don't know. So it costs half her funds just to give her 2 katanas. After which I'll have to give her body armor and boots. Because, of course. But I think that'll actually be a good start. Now I think about it. Now there's also the issue of how she would fit. She wouldn't really fit in with Alyssa's whole chain link fence. Another perk of not... Well, it's not quite a... Is it a perk? Well, by not having a rover, that means I can have all 3 slots for wraiths, but is it really worth that? Well, if you want to min-max a necromancer's DPS, yeah, the 3rd slot really does mean a lot, but I mean, for general use, 3rd slot's not huge. It's like, it's nice when you have all the classes in a guild this big because you have options, but it's also bad because analysis paralysis. Makes me put, like, very slightly miss and a little bit more envy at the times and people when you just had your main party of 5 and that was it. So you just kind of had to tough it through with what options you had, and I think as I've shown with the Hippogriff boss fight, yeah, that totally... It's honestly a good way to play, because you just end up pulling out Pyrrhic victories, because, of course, you just tough it out till the end. And you might not be the only one, Alyssa. I mean, I pulled a network switch during the countdown, but my word, the connection got really bad. I mean, currently fine, but as we all know, Comcast does run along gone. But still, we may finally be dropping Alyssa from the party. And I kinda wanna run a Necromancer now. But I also kind of want to stick with using a Warlock. Just so I can see how good a Warlock can be. Actually, how would I build the... I don't know, I'm gonna prioritize building it for the 4. But, I am starting to wonder what kind of a party that's built around a Warlock would look like. Yes, that'll give Sark a go. I've mentioned this before, but like where I put the body armor has varied by game. I think normally have it there in the 2nd slot, or rather, the 2nd armor slot, 3rd slot total. But that's not where I'd be right now. Not this time. Oh, that's promising. And I remember you telling me, like, maybe over a year ago that your father turned down fiber optic in your area. Like, if this new ISP gives you at all a hint of having a better connection than your current one, fucking take it. And fuck your dad. Excuse the language, I know you don't fully hate your dad, but, like, you and I both know you really I mean, really have to put down your foot on the connection if the opportunity arises. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you said you've measured your internet connection in kilobytes, if not bytes at times. I mean, my connection is better. It's in megabytes, but it's not always in multi-digit megabytes. At least doesn't seem to be at times. Although I might be confusing download speed with the general. No, maybe not. I think it's supposed to be 125 megabytes per second. But the download speed is like 2 megabytes per second. Which, yeah, I mean, it could be download being separate from other speeds, but... It's very slow. Now then, heavy armor or light armor? Honestly, I'm thinking light armor. Like, the thing to note is that here we have, like, light armor will be the baseline, in which case... Yeah, fair enough, but still, I think my point stands. If this ISP offers you at all a better connection, fucking take it, and strong-arm your dad into taking it as well. Oops. Oh, that's good. Honestly, I was still thinking maybe he hadn't learned the error of his ways, even though you've told me before that, like, he's had org conferences where he just drops. And yet still doesn't see the need to improve his connection, but it seems like his mind's changed just from that one line. But also, it's good you have options, because I don't really have options here. Technically, there's 2 ISPs in my town, except they've divided their coverage so finely that, like, each household only actually has one option. Even though, like, in the town in general, you actually have a few. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't expect it to be, like, soon, but still, year ain't too bad. I mean, given the average human lives for 80-ish years, yeah, a year's not too bad. Tutorials sucks, though, still. And it's getting longer. Meaning, so saying light armor versus cloth and heavy. Yeah, heavy's got higher def but lower MDef, while cloth has lower def and higher MDef, but neither of them are that much higher than the Grand Vest. So, Grand Vest also gives you a +0 to speed, and heavy armor should give you, like... This is assuming it's the same speed modifiers as previous games. I don't know what EO5's modifiers are for gear. But heavy armor is like a -10, a +0, and like a +5, unless it's a +10 too. I forget, is cloth armor a +5 or a +10 to speed? Heavy armor should be a -10 though. think shield was like a -5. Helmet was... It was either a 0 or a -5. Gauntlets are +5 and boots were either like a +10 or a +20. Like, if you want to go first, you gotta get some shoes.
You wanna equip it here? Deal. Anything? What are you selling? Anything else? Leave it to me. Yes, a job well done. 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 Yes, a job well done.
Not enough. But hey, we got lit up, which is great. Yep. I mean, that's how the ISPs have gotten to the bloated, corrupt states that they are. They just have basically mutual non-compete agreements between each other. So that to the federal government, there's a lot of ISPs in the US, but if you take a look at any one person's options, it's a monopoly. It's what's called a regional monopoly. Where it's not technically big enough to be a monopoly by federal standards, but it's a monopoly.
You're always such a big help.
Alright, we gotta go to 413, and I'm a little hesitant about the party just because Sark hasn't really been out here yet. Although her def is pretty up there. 88 is higher than the back line. Alright. Pub, Twilight Tavern, and berries.
Be careful out there.
Actually, did I do a little quest for 412? I think I did.
There's no new Rick. What'll it be?
Yeah, I just got spooky scary skeletons left. Gonna hold off on that quest until I actually beat the spookiest, scariest skeleton of them all. One within yourself. But now, though, you have to get sharpened rims from, they're the worst. If you want to know how bad those metal wheels with eyes are, they're still in the encounter table in the post game, and they aren't reskinned or scaled. That's how bad they are. And we don't have a rover or a necromancer, so we don't actually have to... I don't have to remember to let the dogs out, and I don't have to, like, extend a stay in the labyrinth because I don't want to waste TP. Just nice, but I'll also have to get used to that. What the heck was that? Right, panic. Panic conditional. Not gonna do Hell Slash yet. Really wish I got Air Slash unlocked. I guess concussion for that. Wait, are they even... Oh, it actually can be blinded, even though they inflict blind. Neat.
You're finished.
Oh, good. Fantastic. Yeah, alright, now they're just blinded.
That's a miss.
You're finished. This'll end it.
Just to remind myself, they are weak to fire. Okay, and these guys up front are weak to volt. Toxic Reap the back. Just smack the thing in front. Yep, just punch it. And... Yeah. Oh, no poison on the...
Take that.
So I'm talking about, without body armor, that probably would have been a kill. Die in one hit.
This'll end it.
Down to you.
Alright. Hit that. Smack that. Arm Crusher. Healing Herb. Fireball.
Don't worry. Good work, everyone.
Yeah, back on that little tangent about the ISP gerrymandering. I remember looking at the map for my neighborhood, and literally, it's just my house has one ISP, and then across the street is the other ISP's territory. And it's not even, like, divided by the street, it's like, yeah, it's zigzagging and being jagged through there. It's very... I don't know how they decided to gerrymander it, but there's definitely bullshit.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know if I've mentioned this to Alex, and I haven't mentioned it in a while just because freaking COVID's made job prospects really grim. But yeah, once I have the money, I do plan to move just to Europe, where internet isn't... where the market isn't as totally corrupt as it is in America. It's still a ways off. I mean, it is getting closer, though. That time is inching closer. There it is. Hey, nice. Oh, hi there, Wendy. I noticed that got picked up a little bit loudly on the mic. A shutter banging, probably. Actually, given the direction I heard, there probably was a shutter. Yeah. Yeah, that is how the skills be. Although, I'm also at the point in my career of playing these games. Career of playing Etrian Odyssey. But I'm at the point where I'm just like, yep. I don't really mind the TP cost too much. Like, I know when I started, I was young and in the whole hoarder mentality you have in RPGs, where like, I'm not going to use these items because maybe I'll need them later. But because you keep thinking that, you end up not using them when you actually need to. Hey Spliff, been a while. And I treat TP the same, like we're just not going to use TP unless we need to. And I never used TP, or very rarely did. Now I'm like, yeah, as long as TP ain't 0, we're fine. So, my major concern at this point with skill cost is how long do we have until TP hits 0? So, I'm kind of fine with level 10 costs, but I have to wait until our TP pools are good enough to handle that for excursions. Some of them are like 6 times cost. I mean, that's pretty rare among the skills. But yeah, there are some skills that like 6-tuple in cost from level 9 to level 10. Just huge on sustain. Yeah. Oh, it is getting cold. It's just something weird that it's always when it starts to get cold that like my own productivity goes up. And actually I guess that makes sense because I do prefer the cold to the hot, since I have a monitor and a second monitor and a PC, well, a tower and a radiator in one small room. Like, yeah. Makes sense. A little bit. But, like, it's not just I do better when it starts to get cold, but, like, more opportunities come in. I guess it just happens to coincide, but it's kind of weird how, like, every October or fall or whatever time it is about now, things start to look up, like, significantly more so. And it's been pretty consistent for the past several years. Weird. And spring kind of sucks. Anyway, as you creep through the stale and noxious air of the marshes, you see a familiar figure standing quietly under the shadow of the gnarled trees. Oh yeah, that's... Actually, congrats on that, Alyssa. Yeah, inventory space. That's my limit too, most of the time. I mean, you've been watching me. See, it's mostly inventory that we run out of and not TP. Though TP does happen every now and again. I mean, I do know what it's like, but I can't say I fully remember what it's like. I remember the tile set, and, oh, yeah, actually, given the new mechanic they added with that, yeah. Yeah. They can make a lot more dense maps with that. I guess it's not that big of a spoiler, because it'll happens pretty early on, but like in Nexus they added these half wall tiles, so like you can actually like climb a ladder or a staircase up to a second level on the same floor. So what would have been a wall is now an actual walkable space, which make like if we go here in this map and you fill in all this dead space in between the tiles with walkable space, and like that's what you have, and just makes the maps a hell of a lot more dense. Like, it's cool, and I don't really oppose it, but I get where this is coming from. That can make the floors a lot longer to complete. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing, or a good thing. I don't know, kind of depends what you really are looking for. Oh, it's Lily. She looks to be patiently awaiting something, but your arrival snaps her out of her reveries. I'm waiting for you, Lily continues in an unusually somber tone. Now that you've made it this far up the third stratum, there's something I want to ask you. The girl then gazes at you, awaiting a reply. Lily nods and continues. Well, it's about a certain necromancer. The typically upbeat girl has an expression bordering on torment. Her voice is grave. For generations, my Celestian clan has been hunting a rogue spellcaster. See, this man stole a powerful artifact from the Sorcerer's Tower of my homeland. The grand relic this necromancer stole is too deadly to be allowed outside the safety of the tower. It must be returned, no matter the cost. My father, and his father before him, and his father before him. I'm merely the latest in a long line of people searching for that man. This mission has been passed down from parent to child for, well, ages. The findings of my ancestors led me to this labyrinth. That's why I came here as Solor. If that necromancer's anywhere in Yggdrasil, it would surely be in this Vedic necropolis. Solor hasn't had any luck in finding him. And since you're one of the only other guilds to make it up here, I have to ask. Have you seen any suspicious people on this stratum? Any necromancers other than myself? A suspicious necromancer? You've yet to encounter anyone like that, and tell her so. The girl's expectant eyes drop to the ground. I see. But I have to believe he's in this labyrinth. Her words are cold and hard, like iron. She bows, almost apologetically, before turning to delve further into the stratum. If you do come across any kind of clue, please, won't you tell me? I beg of you. We'll, of course, repay your kindness in turn. With that, Lily turns a corner and vanishes. Take her words to heart as you return to your own investigation of the graveyard. Alright, person icon, or what I have to find is a person icon. And Lily. Yeah, these icons were totally meant for some statues that only appear in the first stratum, but you know what? Screw that. It's gonna be used for people talking. Oh. Oh no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hi. Was it that? Because there's one specific foe I'm remembering from this stratum. One very, very specific foe. And it hasn't appeared yet, so I'm obviously remembering something that's on, like, maybe the 14th floor, if not, like, the 15th or even later. But yeah, they're a set path, just like many foes before, but they go through walls. Because of course they do. Oh. Oh no. Forgot those things existed. Oh no. Oh boy, let's try a Chaos Reap. Chaos Reap, Concussion. Aegosper, I hope our armor is up to snuff. Motherfucker. That's what I'm talking about. Also, I just now noticed that we just had a reconnect. Okay. Alright, we'll blow that. Sweeping herb. Icicle lance. Yeah, I hate those ghosts because of it. Oh, you fucking missed?
Burn in hell!
At least we got a leg behind. Seriously, you missed?
Don't worry.
Move!
Let's see you handle this.
Strength is everything.
Well, at least we got a sharpened room. Let's see, where the hell? There's Ghost. It's resistant to everything. If this phantom haunts you before it's sealed, you'll be made to relive its pain and suffering. Yeah. Yep. Ah. Third strand of enemy design. Ugh. Anyway, I do believe if we don't have Levitate, and we don't have Levitate, and I doubt... Did I bring a Guard Soul? I did bring Guard Soul. Alright, I'll hold off on that a little bit.
Thanks.
Oh, it just negates the damage. Okay. I mean, yeah, Levitation does that, so I don't see why I wouldn't. Points there. What I'm surprised is that in the past games it actually reduced 4 damage to 1 instead of negating it outright. Oh, motherfucker. Oh.
I'll go first.
I'm really gonna have to consider how the hell we need to do handle possession. Alright, alright.
Me too.
Toxic Reap, Armor Pierce. Like, the only thing it does is possession, so that's fine, I guess.
Leave it to me.
Oh, hey, we got it. Alright, so saving double attack union for it seems to be a good idea. That thing's got its leg sealed. So this actually won't be that bad. Yeah, it can't hurt us. Now just punch that. Hello, Sora. I mean, a couple days out, but yeah, happy Halloween. Oh wait,
Huh.
what a coinky dink. We're in the bone zone when the bone time comes along. Huh.
The end.
Actually, that means Halloween comes on a Sunday.
Something's there.
Depends on the game? Yeah, depends on the game. Wait, does it? I'm trying to think of which game in the series does not have horror elements, and I can't... I almost thought 2. 2 doesn't have a horror biome, but oh, it has horror enemies. I mean, 1, maybe... 1 does have some horror elements, but they aren't like spooky, scary skeletons kind of horror. It's not like, oh, this is definitely horror theme. It's more like, this is so unsettling. I don't want to be here. 2 doesn't have any overt horror themes, but like, some parts of the monsters are real monsters. 3's got a horror place, yeah. 4's got horror, and 5's got horror. And does Nexus have any? Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Sora. That, although I guess that is spoilers if I bring... Oh, whatever. Spliff says he's got the memory of a goldfish. Everybody else watching is a veteran of the series. Yeah, like, I was going to say, like, Forbidden Woods would not count as horror, but then I remember there's the freaking mushroom with teeth. And backtrack on that sentiment. As you walk the dark forest, you discover the remains of an old campground at a dead end. After looking around, you wonder if the people were ambushed by monsters. Debris litters the area, from a torn tent to a discarded backpack. Thankfully, there are no bodies in sight. Explorers here must have gotten out safely. There might be something useful left amid the scattered belongings, but perhaps it'd be wiser not to waste any more time and carry onward. Not sure if I'll regret it or not, but let's investigate. You begin to check the scattered belongings. At first glance, a few things catch your eye. A forgotten backpack, a pot near the fire pit, and a sword leaning against a nearby tree. Decide to pick up and check the articles in the order that they've tugged at your curiosity. Well, the sword piques my curiosity first and foremost. Pick up the sword leaning against a tree. Its polished blade still gleams beautifully, exactly, even in the... Yeah, that's... This is the unsettling part, like, if this seems like... Either these explorers have disappeared recently. But if they disappeared a long time ago, which may also be the case, because people have not been in the third stratum for a long time, it sounds like. At least not many people. So for a blade left out in the open to be this well maintained is an ominous sign. Does not make sense. While my guard's up, let's see if our guild's guard is up, because the writers have decided that. Its polished blade still gleams beautifully, even in the damp, marshy air. It must be well made. You add the sword to your inventory. Oh, steel greaves. Now that you've got a shiny new weapon, you'll need to decide what to do next. You reach towards the backpack and pick it up. When you open it, you find medicine and food. I'll admit the pot had my curiosity more so than the backpack, but I didn't quite think we'd find much value in the pot, but maybe. No fruitcake. But Mixed in among the mundane items is a mysterious bottle filled with a black liquid that's giving off a rather peculiar scent. Tasting the dark fluid would sate your curiosity, but drinking suspicious liquids is a risky gamble. Keep it closed. There's no way such a strange-smelling food would be of any use to you and your party. Ignoring the bottle of black liquid for now, you finish looking through the backpack. Like, best case scenario, that's a useful consumable. Even better scenario, it restores our TP. Bad scenario, it damages us. Worst case scenario, it draws monsters to our location. And damages us. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep the bottle sealed, put it back in the backpack. We saw nothing. Pick up the pot and peek into it. Inside you find semi-solidified substance. It's white and has a faintly sour smell to it. Upon closer inspection, you realize the pot has a crack in it. Wouldn't be of any use to you. You can try drinking whatever's in this pot, or simply leave the white substance alone. So, I'm inclined to think this is spoiled food. But the gleaming, well-polished, well-maintained sword that we just picked up, that wasn't haunted in any way, tells me this campsite was probably abandoned recently, so this food might not actually be spoiled. Even though I showed caution with the black vial. You tip the pot over as each of you takes a sip of the congealed, milky white liquid. The substance is faintly sour, but as you taste it, turns out to be delicious and nutritious. Oh. Okay, that's 170 TP. Alright. Best case scenario. It seems to be milk that happened to ferment and was somehow preserved as tasty yogurt. After putting back down the emptied pot, you think about what to do next. You take one last glance around the camp, but nothing else catches your eye. Sticking around any longer might be dangerous, so you leave the camp and continue exploring. Oh, hi Dembit. I've already forgotten your previous name, it's been a while. Look through the items left at an abandoned campsite. Yeah, that's so many things going on with this event, I'm not sure how to condense it into roughly 15 characters. So, if I can fit abandoned camp, that's good. I mean, I can also try the title itself, but yeah, of course it'd be short. I don't do camel case in my notes. Alright. Hey, oh, that reminds me, doesn't Dertrifa have a skill point? No, I probably spent that, didn't I? As much as I want Reblossom, we really need other skills. I forget if their paths change. Oh, I think they do, actually. Sorry, I just made a huge assumption on that thing's path. Oh, even more rare breeds. You're gonna have to elaborate on your question there. Because, yeah, of course they're other games. They are distinct entities. Do we swallow sword or armor pierce? Airblade.
Ready, bastards!
Me too.
Dupli attack. Arm crusher. Stab it and fireball.
Take this.
Alright, good. Ghost is dead. That'll be an interesting story if it's true. 2 out of 3 poison.
This is the end.
Hey, got that right.
This'll end it.
Maybe.
Just one more.
I know... I've heard very little about Deltarune, so alright, that's a definite maybe. That's a lot of money. $70. But depends how much content, I guess. But Undertale, I know, is a game that's really best played blind, so I'm really dissuaded from streaming it because of that. Yeah. That's some question to ponder at a different time, though. We have a Spriggan to kill. Man, these connections all over the place tonight. They get newly disconnected again right now, and the packets all over the place.
Easy enough.
Fair enough. No, Mother is also a game series I've heard plenty of praise about. Yes, I have been spoiled about a couple of things in Undertale, and I won't mention them just in case you guys haven't been spoiled on them. But, like, yeah, like Breath of the Wild, I know Undertale's the game that you have to play blind. Otherwise, you really do get the experience ruined, like, irreparably. So, I'm gonna keep what I know to myself, and I'm gonna keep myself from knowing more. And if I stream it, I know most of you will keep your mouths shut, but not all of you. And that's why I'm currently against streaming Undertale. But on the, I guess on the kind of bright side, I do own Undertale, because when I had some Christmas money and I saved it to like a Steam summer sale, yeah, months and not spending gifted money, ludicrous, right? Anywho, I got like a bunch of games on cheap then, and one of them was Undertale, so I do own it, though I still haven't played it, and I kind of know why I haven't played it, and it's not because anything to do with Undertale, it's just I only play like max 2 games simultaneously, and currently one of those is Warframe, which is a game that never ends, and I play games to completion, so a game that never ends is kind of a blessing and a curse. And the other game's been Etrian Odyssey Untold, and then this third game's been what I'm streaming. So yeah. If I do quit Warframe, which might be soon, and that opens up a slot. You're not lagging, I am lagging. Yeah, you're not probably not lagging. It was the last few minutes. That's whatever the hell Comcast's been doing. Or rather not doing. Because the stream just narrowly avoided complete disconnection for the last like 2 minutes. You don't miss much, because when I noticed the connection's just about kaput, I also stopped talking just to watch it. Because I'm not going to talk when nothing's being transmitted. So, as you slip past the eerie monsters that plague this uncanny graveyard, you come to a dead end. The cemetery is the same as ever, lined with spear-like fences and ominous tombstones, but somewhere you can hear a woman sobbing. Could those be the cries of a lone adventurer, stranded from her guild and lost within the fetid necropolis? Curious, you look around, and suddenly notice a figure behind you. You could swear that just moments ago you and your party were alone. A hauntingly beautiful lady stands before you. When she notices your gaze, she casts her sad eyes towards you and quietly reaches out with a thin, white hand as if imploring you to take it. She looks troubled. Maybe you should take her hand and lead her safely back to the city. And again, you could wait and see what she does. Okay, this event, I really don't remember which one was the right choice. With these ghost stories, it's really flip-floppy. For some, like, they kill you if you come into contact with them. For others, they'll kill you if you refuse to help them. I don't know which one this is. So, I'm gonna have to think about this. In the meantime, though, what was I saying? Right, endless games being both a blessing and a curse. A blessing in the fact that when I just want to have something to just... It's like a comfort game. You know, like how there's comfort food that you just kind of eat. You don't have to think much about it, you just kind of eat it, you feel a little better. And it's usually always there. Yeah, comfort game. It's a game that you can just play, you don't have to think that much when you're playing it. It's always there. It's kind of what endless games are, but that also means that they always take up a slot. Nice. Should I take the ghost hand, or do I wait and see? I'm really torn with this. Like, on the one hand, I could take her hand. The weed number. With one hand, I could take her hand. And maybe help her. Or maybe it's a monster. On the other hand, I could wait and see. And maybe she'll just go away. Or maybe she's a monster. If they both have potential negative outcomes, I guess the taking her hand would have the higher positive. Potential positive. You take the lady's hand and offer your help. But when your skin touches hers, your woman's hand is cold. Unnaturally fuck, it's a monster. Argefi says, I get a bad feeling. As if on cue, the woman's beauty is shattered when her face splits into a wicked grin. Before you can pull away, she begins chanting a hex.
How could you? Why, you... shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a fucking monster. Of course, a goddamn monster. Alright. Miasma armor. Concussion, I guess.
Here I go. I'll lend a hand. I'll match you. Right with you.
Let's get some healing going. And... I guess Focus Ray and Fireball.
That's the plan. Here you go.
Alright, Headbind. No, these temptresses. Vilest evil to offer untolding in this day and age. Alright, let's see. Paralysis, curse, poison, or panic. A part of me disappointed that I just said panic. The status ailment used to be called confusion. Then after like 3 games they renamed it to panic. Which I didn't like then. But now I see it so often because I'm playing the later games now. Instead of the earlier ones, I just called it panic without thinking. Panic. And that's just Toxic Breed. And Armor Pierce. And... 1-2 or aren't? 1-2 punch, why not?
That's the plan. Raw.
No poison there, okay.
This is it. This is it.
This'll end it. Disappear.
Okay. Fire and ice do almost nothing. What about lightning? Lightning do anything?
That's the plan.
Oh, sweet, it's paralyzed.
Let's see you handle this. Disappear.
Okay, looks like it's probably elementally resistant to everything. Oh. Oh, we got the drop. We got the conditional. I can tell you I did not remember what the conditions were. Which is either it's a head bind, or full bind, or arm bind, or leg bind, or full bind. Maybe it's full bind. After defeating the humanoid vampire, you deeply exhale and take a short break. Once again, things in this labyrinth were not as they seemed. Take that lesson to heart to continue your adventure with renewed vigilance. No, I'll just say the option. The pale lady. You met a sobbing woman, but it turned out to be a monster. The witch was defeated before I could hex you. Alright, let's see.
Yeah, I guess double punch then. Wait a minute. Do I really want double punch? Because when it comes to inflicting binds, and I mean like, I'm thinking end game here. I'm not thinking like right now, but like end game. We're talking either you're going to be using 1-2 punch, because you can deal some damage while inflicting binds, or you're going to be using clinch. So that doesn't deal damage, but it has a very high chance to inflict all the binds. In both cases, I don't think Double Punch would even qualify there, because Clinch doesn't deal damage. Although it is still technically, like, it's a single action, but it doesn't deal damage, so I don't think it qualifies for single hit. A 1-2 punch is an attack, but it's multiple attacks, so it's not single hit. So Double Punch, I mean, it'd help with, like, targeted binding, but not with all bind. Alright then, but thanks for stopping by. You have a good night. And I'm also, be frank, given just how bad the connection is, I'm also thinking of, like, an early end, but I'm not sure if I should call it. Yeah, stream will probably be done in an hour. I have mislabeled this wall. Yeah, and I'm glad it's EO5 with this connection, just because it's pretty slow game. Like, visually speaking, it's not... If the connection goes bad, you aren't really missing out on a lot of detail. Nice. Alright, treasure chest. What secrets hold ye? While exploring, you come across a large box. Would I like to open it? Of course. Lake Taker Scythe. I wonder if I'll New Game Plus this on stream. Like, there isn't much reason for me to, like, New Game Plus this, say, on my own. It doesn't fit! Oh, it doesn't fit! I'll just have the E be truncated. Yeah, like, I've already beat the game, so...
Wonder what that is.
Huh, I knew there'd be an event here. There isn't too much reason to do New Game Plus in 5, but maybe there, like, again, on my own time. But on stream, maybe. Yeah, I'm starting with the third game. Onwards, there's New Game Plus, which, of course, lets you carry over all your stuff to a new game. So, you know, the shop inventory, your gear, your characters, your maps, whatever items you had in storage, your money, obviously the levels, that comes as part of your characters and their skills. So basically you get to tackle the game from the first floor all over again, but with like your high level, if not max level, guilds. So obviously it's a lot faster. New Game Plus won't be like as long as this first time, because we'll have all the maps, we'll have all the skills, we'll have all the gear already. But we can see like some different events, we can go through stuff faster, we can get more XP because we get to redo the quests, which give us the big chunks. Could help with grinding, could just be a change of pace. Fatigue begins to weigh upon you as you creep through the dark wastes. Then, to the side of the path, you find a small reddish yellow plant. Looks like a patch of egg-shaped mushrooms. These mushrooms appeared right on time. You can cook them to sate your hunger. I don't know if this is what I'm remembering. There's one event that I really remember. So I'm going to try cooking them. After sitting down to the side of the path and starting a small fire with relative ease, you pick the mushrooms from the patch and get cooking. A fragrant aroma begins to waft from the ripe mushrooms as you roast them over the flame. The delicious scent increases your appetite, so you start hurriedly wolfing down the shrooms. You all get 50 hit points. Mushrooms' rich flavor sates your hunger and replenishes your stamina. As you're enjoying your snack, however, Arastia suddenly screams. Next to them, Naomi mumbles that it's hot and starts undressing. Meanwhile, Arastia turns to a wall and begins babbling at it. It seems these mushrooms are hallucinatory. Your vision goes fuzzy as you collapse. 12 hours have passed. When you wake up, you realize that you passed out in the middle of the labyrinth. Your joints ache, but you're not seriously hurt. A heavy throbbing pounds through your skull, however, a side effect of those shrooms. Oh, god, that's horrible. 50 HP in exchange for 100 TP? Fuck. You hold your aching head in your trembling hands as you return to your ill-fated journey. Cooked and ate some tasty shrooms, only to learn they were poisonous. That's one trip you won't forget. There's one thing to be thankful of, is that even though we were knocked out for literally half a day, no monsters. We didn't die in our sleep. But yeah, that's what I remember. Yeah. We could get ourselves back up and running. Because we have a good bit of honey yogurt. Yeah, let's do that. Because, I mean, we have to use the food at some point. Alright, I'll leave it at that then. New problem. The Nazguls change their pathing at night. How do I denote this? Yeah, yellow path, whatever. But how do I denote that it's different during the day? Purple. I don't have an unused thing. Purple. Just purple. It's purple. Oh my god, this is really bad. Yeah, that altered pathing really fucked us. Okay.
Hey there, what are you selling? You got yourself a deal. What are you selling? What'll it be?
Oh, got a bunch of new weapons though.
What'll it be?
See, I can forge that Katana to a +1, so that's good.
Anything else? You're always such a big help.
And I think we'll sleep that off.
And sleep tight. Take care now.
Yeah, we'll have to go out again. But is this party... I mean, Sark's doing okay. And I'll say pretty similar to Dargath as far as like functionality goes, so... yeah, it'd have to be at higher levels, where she actually differentiates. It's still mostly basic skills.
What will you do?
Which means I need a Therian. Who could be Dargath. Or could be Ilari, or could be Ardentia. I don't know. Gonna bring Ardentia. And of course I'm bringing Arastia and Argefi because, yeah, having like all them binds is really helpful. Which means there is, unfortunately, no space for Alyssa.
Very well then.
Let's see, 2 skill points. What am I gonna put these into?
I've learned it. Not bad.
Alright, so Hawk Arrow's been improved, then we'll get Aerial Talons. Maybe Skydive.
Don't let the labyrinth claim you.
Alright, let's double check our supplies then. We did use an area at Neathred. Some Dominicas, extra soma. Okay, I got some small things to put away.
Of course. I'll be glad to look after that for you. How can I be of service?
What do we have in stock? Oh, no extra Ariadne cards, I can tell you that.
Hey there, what'll it be? Deal.
Alright. Oh, a Harpy is already at the highest tier, just the Revenant Fog is, it's not better by default, but it is probably the next tier, if not 2 tiers up.
You're always such a big help.
Yeah, despite that being a blindside, we really did get some good stuff out of it. Out of that event. So either we travel at nighttime when the enemy pathing is a lot trickier. Well, a lot worse, because it's so easily cornered by it. Or travel during the daytime when we have to use Guard Soul.
Welcome back. Do you want to save?
Either way, though, I need to make a trip to the Throne of Thought. I will BRB. Okay, I have returned from the bowels of my house.
Take care now.
Now then. Let us continue. Okay, pop up our... Yep. Golden Hound. Yes, it's quite pensive. Ah, thank you. Oh, it's already fully transformed. That's interesting. Oh, target arrow, and just smack that, and smack it. Smack even harder.
Time to show off.
I think at this point, I really don't have a good way to denote the nighttime paths because they crisscross with so much other tiles. They cross over damage tiles, they cross over sunshine tiles. It's crazy. How am I gonna... How? How am I going to do this? As I thought, they don't enter sunlight. I was like, should I make it purple? It's like, what really takes precedence here? do know that this specific stretch, though, is very tricky to navigate. Very tricky. And hey, as long as we don't take any more shrooms, I don't think we'll lose an entire day and be stuck here at night. Because yeah, I really don't have much data at all in their nighttime patterns, which is going to be a huge issue. Was a huge issue before, it'll still be a huge issue then. Until we can brute force our way through these Nazguls, we're gonna have to be here during the daytime. Ooh, copper ingot. Ooh, piece of candy. Alright. Oh, there's a ghost, but there's also the skull things, and it's like, oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, it's parallelize. And... Ah, yes, we crash.
With all my heart and soul.
And again, our F is possessed.
Time to show off.
Oh, sneeze. Oh, or not. That's the thing. I can feel a sneeze coming on, but anytime I try to say I've got a sneeze coming on, that somehow pushes away the urge to sneeze. Like, I still feel a little bit of that sensation in my nose, but it's like drastically reduced the moment I say sneeze. Biology.
Don't worry. Thanks.
Oh, 155 hit points. Okay, that's how much it restores. Oh boy, there's so much to keep track of here. "19 steps on guard, soul." I have to keep track of all of these ghosts. Okay. we have approximately 2. Yeah, we're gonna have to use the second card so pretty soon. May as well check out what's here. No event. Okay. And that's the second card soul used. Like, on the one hand, I do want to go back and just double check some stuff about my mapping, but on the other hand, we only have so much time. Only have so big a window to slip in between all these wraiths. Going by the aura, technically, and I do mean technically, we can kill them. Alright, I think we're in the clear for at least a while. Ah, interesting combination here. Alright, Chaos Reap that, Robo that. That. Oh, that thing's weak to Volt. Okay, yeah, I guess lightning in the front. Oh, no panic there. Okay. Oh. Okay, I'm very glad Animal Therapy kicks in first. Otherwise, Arastia... You know, Arastia would have had 6 hit points. Yeah, she wouldn't have died, but I mean, she would have died. Oh, and this is where Lick Wounds gets really useful, because with Lick Wounds we remove the poison and restore hit points, but with Retrieva, you either remove the poison or restore the hit points. It's quite the dilemma. So what really does... right, potentially more damage output is what Ardentia offers. But at this point, not significantly.
Best of luck. Can you handle this? Time to show off. Last one.
Alright, now we pop Refreshing Herb, and now we do Ice Lance. There we are.
Thanks.
So yeah, it's kind of a prime example of where Alaria would be better.
Nice. Mastered it.
Oh, and here's an event. As you creep through the dreadful cemetery where the dead still walk, you encounter familiar Harbinger.
Long time no see.
Zola's greeting is friendly enough, but she gazes at you with her usual detached air. Seriously, it's crazy how fast you've grown. This damn strum even gives me the creeps. After another moment, she says there's something that she wants to ask you. Let's nod and listen. The Harbinger gives a curt nod and continues. Levy's filled you in about the man she's been looking for, right? You know, the necromancer? Must be wondering why. Well, it's time I told you what the deal is with that. Zola looks up to the sky as she continues, seemingly losing herself in an old memory. Once upon a time, there were twin Celestials, spellcasters who lived in the Sorcerer's Tower. Their older brother was called Crow, named for his dark eyes and ebony looks. His sister, Swan, had ivory skin and hair as white as the snow. Crow hungered for knowledge and what lies beyond the laws of nature. One fateful day, he stole the tower's fabled Ring of Undying. Alright, good night, Alex. Oh, and good night, Schliff, too. To put it bluntly, the sorcerers got pissed. He sent his sister Swan after him. Her job was to recover the ring and assassinate Crow. In the ensuing fight, Crow dealt the mortal blow to his own sister, and fled to a faraway land, never to be seen again. Meanwhile, however, injured and on the brink of death, Swan's last request was for her young children to one day stay beside the traitor Crow and take back that ring. After telling you that much, the wind pauses for a moment and slowly looks to each of you. She closes her eyes and takes a deep breath. That tale is really old, but to me, it sounds like a load of bullshit. Especially for those kids who had no choice but to get caught up in it. Still, there's someone whose entire life has been determined by Swan's dying wish. The story can't end until Crow is brought to justice. Solo's eyes glisten as she fights back tears and wipes away the moisture from her eyes. Where do I come into the picture? Long ago, I was a common sellsword who wielded a blade without purpose. Now I follow a greater cause. My calling is to serve the last descendant of Swan. Yeah, you guessed it. Her name is Lily. I'd do anything for her, but it turns out I'm not strong enough to face what lies at the end of this tragic tale. You'll figure. That's why I need your help. Investigate what's lurking at the top of this wasteland. I'll keep doing what I can, but if you learn anything new about the Fetid Necropolis, well, let's just say I owe you. Big time. You take her words to heart as the Harbinger departs, and you continue your own exploration. Funnily enough, I was planning to call it when we got back to town. Here's the stairs up. Alright. That's a shortcut we can't make use of just now. Hmm. Okay, we're getting pretty close to the end. So I can't say we've completely mapped floor 13. Just a little bit in this whole dance of Nazguls. This whole chunk here we haven't really gotten to. Other than that, though, floor is done. I mean, except for the nighttime patrols, but I think I'll let future me handle that. Ah, nothing down here. Alright. No, that's not a shortcut. Just a bit of extra wall stuff that I mistook for a shortcut in passing. Oh, fantastic. Alright, let's double that. We don't have that. Or rather, Rassi doesn't have that. Let's see, some toxic. Double attack, concussion. Target arrow, I guess.
All my heart and soul. That was easy.
One turn. Nice. Alright, so, okay, that's the wrong. There we are. Trying to make use of the auto pathing I have written. Gonna need to fetch a couple of guard souls from the inn, though. Alright, let's do that, and fireball, and... Why is it so fast?
This is the last one.
Alright, got that one. And there we are. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. This auto path takes me to the stairs, not down. And given that change, yeah, I'll adjust the other auto path. And part of why I had it connect from the stairs going around the geomagnetic pole is because if you're coming up from the previous one and then I decide to use it to auto path to the stairs up, you know, that's good there, but really I am indeed using these to return to town, so it makes sense to go to the nearest pole. Alright. Right
Please pick.
How do you like this? Give up! Yeah! Best of luck! Yay!
Alright. Now I've returned to town,
Hey there.
What are you selling?
sell their stock, resupply on things.
Anything else? You're always such a big help.
Welcome back!
See, you got any guard souls? Nah, don't have any guard souls in the inventory. Alright,
Can I be of service?
yeah, I guess let's sleep till the evening.
Do you want to save?
Yes, I do want to
How can I
save.
be of service? Take care now!
So,
Thank you for watching. I'm gonna call it a night here. See you tomorrow night.